Happy Passover. Well, what I was hearing from Holy Spirit is that ignorance is bliss, but ignorance is also a miss. So then I want to read these excerpts, first from the book of Hosea, chapter 9. Well, I hope everyone's having a good season. I love it when it starts to get warm. I really like the warm weather. Hosea 9, chapter 9, verse 8. The prophet is God's watch person, looking over Ephraim, yet a hunter's trap is set, covering all their ways, and rejection is in their God's house. Ouch. They have corrupted themselves terribly, as in the days of Gibeah. He will remember their wickedness. He will punish their sins. Like grapes in the wilderness, I found Israel in its first season, like the first fruit on the fig tree. I saw your ancestors, but they came to Baal Peor and worshipped a thing of shame. They became detestable, like the thing they loved. Ephraim's glory will fly away like a bird. No birth, no pregnancy, no conception. Though they bring up children, I will make them childless until no one is left. Doomed to them indeed when I leave them. Sounds like divine frustration to me. When I looked toward Tyre, Ephraim was planted in a lovely meadow. But now Ephraim must lead out his children for slaughter. Give them, Lord, what will you give them? Give them a womb that miscarries and breasts that are dried up. Every wickedness of theirs began at Gilgal. There I came to hate them. Because of the wickedness of their deeds, I will drive them out of my house. I will love them no more. All their officials are rebels. Ephraim is sick. Their root is dried up. They will bear no more fruit. Even though they give birth, I will put them to death, their much-loved little ones, because they haven't listened to him. My God will reject them. They will wander among the nations. Okay. My next excerpt is from my beloved copy of Paradise Lost, which is falling apart. Apparently, these coincide with each other in a spiritual manner. From page 48, forced hallelujahs, ? While he lordly sits, our envied sovereign, and his altar breathes ambrosial odors and ambrosial flowers. Our servile offerings, this must be our task. In heaven, this our delight, how wearisome. Eternity so spent in worship paid to whom we hate. Let us not then pursue by force impossible, by leave obtained, unacceptable, though in heaven our state of splendid vassalage, but rather seek our own good for ourselves, and from our own live to ourselves, though in this vast recess, free and to none accountable, preferring hard liberty before the easy yoke of servile pomp. Our greatness will appear then most conspicuous, when great things of small, useful of hurtful, prosperous of adverse, we can create, and in what place soar, thrive under evil, and work ease out of pain. Through labor and endurance, this deep world of darkness do we dread? How oft amidst thick clouds and dark doth heaven's all-ruling Sire choose to reside, his glory unobscured, and with the majesty of darkness round covers his throne, from whence deep thunders roar, mustering their rage, and heaven resembles hell? As he our darkness, cannot we his light imitate when we please? This desert soil wants nor her hidden luster gems and gold, nor want we skill or art from whence to raise magnificence. And what can heaven show more? Our turmoils, our torments also may, in length of time, become our elements, these piercing fires. As soft as now severe, our tempered change into their temper, which must needs remove the sensible of pain. All things invite to peaceful counsels and the settled state of order. How in safety best we may compose our present evils, with regard of what we are and were, dismissing quite all thoughts of war. Ye have what I advise. He scarce had finished, when such murmur filled the assembly, as when hollow rocks retain the sound of blustering winds, which all night long had roused the sea. Now, with hoarse cadence low, seafaring men o'erwatched, whose dark by chance or penance anchors in the craggy bay. After the tempest, such applause was heard, as Mammon ended, and his sentence pleased, advising peace for such another field, then dreaded worse than hell. So much the fear of thunder, and the sword of Michael wrought still within them, and no less desire to found this neither empire, which might rise by policy a long process of time, in emulation opposite to heaven, which when Beelzebub perceived, to whom Satan except none higher sat, with grave aspect he rose, and in his rising seemed a pillar of state, deep on his front engraven, deliberation sat in public care, and princely counsel in his face yet shone, majestic though in ruin, sage he stood, with Atlantean shoulders fit to bear the weight of mightiest monarchies, his look drew audience and attention still as night, or summer noontide air, while thus he spake. Okay. That was quite a mouthful. Of course, I didn't read it beforehand. Obviously. From the book of Matthew, chapter 18, verse 1, it says, At that time the disciples came to Jesus and asked, Who is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven? Then he called a little child over to sit among the disciples and said to them, I assure you that if you don't turn your lives around and become like this little child, you will definitely not enter the kingdom of heaven. Those who humble themselves like this little child will be the greatest in the kingdom of heaven. Whoever welcomes one such child in my name welcomes me. As for whoever causes these little ones who believe in me to trip and fall into sin, it would be better for them to have a huge stone hung around their necks and be drowned in the bottom of the lake. How terrible it is for the world, because of the things that cause people to trip and fall into ignorance. Such things have to happen, but how terrible it is for the person who causes those things to happen. If your hand or your foot causes you to fall into ignorance, chop it off and throw it away. It's better to enter life crippled or lame than to be thrown into eternal fire with 2 hands or 2 feet. If your eye causes you to fall into ignorance, tear it out and throw it away. It's better to enter life with 1 eye than to be cast into burning hell with 2 eyes. Be careful that you don't look down on one of these little ones. I say to you that their angels in heaven are always looking into the face of our Father who is in heaven. What do you think? If someone had 1 little sheep and one of them wandered off, wouldn't he leave the 99 on the hillside to go in search of that one little one that wandered off? If he finds it, I assure you, he is happier by having that 1 sheep than about having the 99 who didn't wander off. In the same way, my Father who is in heaven doesn't want to lose one of his little ones. So that's the word I have for today.